You know how addicts say it, half joking. I'll quit when something serious happens to me. Like they need permission from disaster. Like the only thing that could actually move them isn't insight or any kind of advice, isn't willpower. It's just something bad enough happening that not doing it becomes the only option left. And I used to think that was a half joke, things that they just say it out of banter or even a cope or whatever. But I don't think it is anymore. I think that's just how it works for basically everyone. And we only notice it in addicts because their version is loud and very visible, crystal clear. The rest of us are doing the same thing very quietly with smaller takes, I mean, stakes over smaller habits. Because here's the thing, I stumbled onto the gym. I didn't decide to become a person who goes to the gym. I got bored. I just got super insecure about my physique. I didn't like the way I looked. Or I don't know, like something was missing and I just ended up there. And at some point, it stopped really being a thing I was doing and became a thing I was. And I keep trying to explain that shift, and the word that keeps coming up is discipline. Like, oh, you build discipline, and every time I hear that, I want to just push back on it because it doesn't feel true at all. Like, it doesn't feel like I sat down one day and decided to be disciplined and then executed the decision. It feels like something else happened. So let me try to actually explain, I think, through what that something else is instead of just rejecting the word and moving on. Here's my theory. Everyone needs one big event or at least one moment. It doesn't have to be dramatic, where you realize that not doing the thing is also a choice, also a decision that you make. But inaction isn't neutral. But every day you don't go, you're choosing that too. You're just choosing it by default instead of on purpose. And once you see that, once you actually see it instead of just knowing it abstractly, something shifts inside you because now the choice is visible. You can't hide behind, I just haven't gotten around to it anymore because you've seen that not getting around to it is this decision as well that you made. And that's when people start doing this other thing. They start surrounding themselves with meaning, with purpose. They build a structure around the new behavior. And the interesting part is that structure attracts other people who are doing the same structure building, people in similar positions or situations. And suddenly, you're not just going to the gym, you're part of something. You're part of a group. You're part of this new gym bros. You're part of this community. You've got a gym friend, you've got a routine that other people recognize you for. You've got an identity now instead of just an activity. And that's the part that actually makes it stick. Like obviously the progress and all the pictures that you can take now of your physique, all good stuff, but like it's really is not discipline. The identity, the fact that stopping now would mean losing something bigger than the habit itself. It would mean losing the version of yourself that's attached to it. So discipline, what is it actually doing in this story? Because I said at the start, I don't think it's the thing, and I still believe that, but I want to be honest that it's not nothing either. Because here's where I catch myself contradicting my own idea a little. I said I stumbled into uh into it out of like boredom. But the big event and I was bored aren't really the same story. One is a rupture, like something that breaks and you're forced to see the choice you've been avoiding, and the other is just drift. You wander into something because you had nothing better going on, and I think both of these are true for different people, maybe true for me at different times, but I shouldn't pretend they are the same mechanism just because they are both end with and it wasn't discipline. because boredom explains why I tried it. Like it doesn't really explain why it's stuck. I've tried plenty of other things out of boredom but didn't turn out into anything. So obviously something happened in between trying it and it becoming identity. And I think if I'm honest, that in between part is where something like discipline actually lives, just not the version of discipline we usually mean. Because every single time I watch Instagram posts or some kind of podcaster like fuck you happiness, just go and do it kind of energy or advices, these are not helpful at all. Like seriously, they just don't work out, will never gonna work out to you. You might get some motivation, the certain spark for a couple of days or weeks or months, I don't know, but it's not a sustainable plan, and we all know that. We tried it. I'm sure any one of you watching this video tried that. The kind of plans that you make, and even like to do while you're making it, you know that you're not gonna make it. Like, you know that these plans are so absurd, like out of touch. You just cannot do it. You know that these are just for my vacation, or not even. I don't even think that I can fully complete it to 100% for 2 weeks. But we just have to do it for something else. Maybe you have to show your parents that you're doing something, or show yourself that you're going doing something, whatever. And like, because when people say like discipline, I think they are picturing this like daily battle. Like every single day you wake up and there's a war between the part of you that wants to go and the part of you that wants to stay in bed. And discipline is whichever side wins. And under that definition, yeah, like I don't have that. Most days I'm not fighting myself. I just go the way you just brush your teeth. Like there's no war happening, seriously. But that only feels effortless now. Obviously, it didn't feel effortless at the start. But I also want to talk about how I feel like I just got handed by my past experiences and my past habits. Let's say, even when I so before going to the gym, I started going out and doing 10 pull-ups. I mean, yeah, 40 pull-ups, 50 pull-ups. Weren't even perfect forms. I just did it thinking that I would get jacked if I do it for a year. And I actually did it for somewhat of a year, if I remember it correctly. And then after all that, I did some like push-ups at home. So I had this arc when I tried to I did actually consistently do something physically before going to the gym. So I'm sure like this helped me a lot to kind of get into gym. But like these are not discipline at all. Like as I said, I just hated the way I look, and I was bored and I needed something else going on in my life. Like it's just something I can be consistently I can consistently doing. So it didn't feel obviously like effortless at start. Like at the start, like, there probably was some version of like just forcing it, showing up when I really didn't want to, going back after a bad session, doing it before it meant anything to me. I just don't remember that part as like discipline, because it didn't really last long enough to become the story I tell about myself. The meaning showed up and kind of overwrote it. So maybe what actually happened is discipline did its job very quietly early before I was paying attention, and then handed the job off to identity, which is much better long-term employee, because it doesn't get tired at all. It just does it every single day without thinking that much. And in the process, I feel like the best way you can do is not staying in the period, in this time period when you feel like you want to do it, and you still you know that you're gonna feel better after doing it, but right now you just want to stay in bed, or you just want to indulge yourself, I don't know, by playing video games, or you just don't want to really go right now. I think that the best way to shift from forcing it to handing it to your identity, is by shortening these times. Obviously, I still feel like I want to go to the gym before night and like every single day. It's like a pillar in my life at this point. But I still feel every single day, like especially leg days. I know I love leg days, but in the morning I'm like, oh, god damn, like today's like that. I don't really feel like going to the gym, but I know like my brain knows so much well that I will feel infinitely better, and I would praise myself in a sense that I came to the gym early today. Oh yeah, good job, Jason, kind of thing. So like still it is a thing, but I try to not stay in that moment as long as short as possible. So that's maybe like the real claim here. Like, not discipline doesn't matter, but discipline is just front loaded and it's supposed to disappear. If it's still the main thing keeping you doing something 2 years in, like something's actually gone wrong. Like you were supposed to graduate out of needing it. Like the whole point of discipline, if it's working, is to buy you enough time and enough reps for meaning to show up and take over. And once meaning takes over, you just stop needing to force it and white knuckle it. And that's the moment when people, me included, start saying it's not really about discipline, or like it's really not that hard, like, because by that point it genuinely isn't. Like we're just uh misdating when that became true. And I think this matters beyond the gym, honestly, because not doing it is also a choice, applies to basically anything you've been meaning to change and haven't. Like the job you're staying in, the person you're not really confronting, the thing you keep saying you'll start next month. All of that feels like it's in some kind of like holding pattern, like nothing's being decided. But nothing being decided is decision. It is the decision. Every single day it repeats, and most of us are waiting quietly, half jokingly, for the one big event that'll make that obvious enough to act on. So, like the diagnosis, the breakup, the wake up call. But maybe you don't actually need the event. Maybe you just need to see the thing the event would have shown you. The inaction has been a choice this whole time, like without really needing the event to force you into seeing it. That's just the harder version. Like nobody really hands you a crisis on a schedule. Sometimes you just have to notice on a random Tuesday for no dramatic reason at all, like that you've been choosing this the whole time. And that noticing, not some surge of willpower, might be just the actual starting gun, the trigger. Like discipline shows up after that briefly to get you through the first few weeks. And then if you're lucky, it quietly just leaps and something more durable moves in to to take its place inside you, and it will eventually be part of you. Yeah, that's about it in this video. Thank you for watching.